This conference will now be recorded.
Call this meeting to order. We'll start with a pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm sure I wasn't being so okay, we'll start out with a regular board meeting minutes, meeting January 3rd. Were we all here on January 3rd? Who was present?
I was.
All of the board was here, yes.
Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second. Any changes, corrections?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do we need it? Regular board meeting minutes from January 17th.
I'll make a motion.
Second. Any questions, changes?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Wow, that worked that quick, right?
I know.
But I read them.
Yay.
Okay, designate an authorized representative for engineering planning grant.
Yes, or as it should be. But what is this planning grant for? I must have missed this.
Mindy, can you explain that?
Absolutely. This is the engineering planning grant for the sewer plant upgrades that need to be done. So this will cover the engineering costs. So we put it out just like for our regular RFP, and then the engineers will bid on it, and this grant covers those engineering costs.
So are we waiting for the grant money? Because we don't know the scope of the job until we know how much money we have.
Well, we know the scope of the job as a whole. So this is to create the actual engineering plans, like Kathy Swazo or Ivan would generally do. They go through the plant and see what needs to be upgraded. They see what mandates that DOH has put out, which they've got a lot of them. And they'll comprise that into an engineering plan so that the board can then decide which direction they want to go. This is just for the beginning.
When do we need this before we went for grant money though? That's usually the way it is.
This grant's paying for that study to come
Correct.
back to us.
Yes.
This
So
is
we need this in order to apply for grants.
Okay, I guess maybe.
So who's the authorized representative?
Or-
Oh,
Yeah, it's.
okay, all right. I make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I mean, but we used to hire just Kathy or Ivan to do this work.
Yeah, so
because-
Kathy and I have already had conversations. She came up with the specs for this particular grant that will cover the cost. And then we submitted it to EFC. So we already know what we need to go after for grants. We actually have some applications that are out there, but this will, we have to follow the protocol in order to get it paid for via grant money. So Kathy hasn't put together the full engineering plan yet. But she did come up with all the specs for it ahead of time because she knew the sewer plant was going to need to upgrade. So as soon as this goes out in the paper, she'll put in a bid for it.
Trust me.
We already have this grant.
Before I'm signing anything.
I think.
Did we vote yet or did we just
We
first and
did.
second? Okay, thank you. That's right. Okay. Dark fiber, IRU and service agreement.
Well, we voted on, there's two parts, right, Mindy?
Right.
We
So
designated a representative, but then there's the RFP for engineering planning grant.
Yes.
Which
So
Kathy's
you
already-
have to approve the RFP as well.
I did jump over that. I apologize.
That's okay.
And Mindy, you said Kathy already started this?
Yes.
Okay,
First. Motion.
I'll make the motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now we can go to dark fiber, IRU, service agreement. Do you want to explain that quickly?
On the back of all that legal mumbo jumbo on the end is the part that really concerns us. It shows all the strengths, and all this work's already been done. So basically, we have a contract codifying what's already been done. The only thing that's not done, that's already done, and this agreement is from over there to here, the fiber for the cameras.
Over where?
from across the street
The Legion.
From the
to-
Legion
to here
to the beach house?
to.
Oh, to the
post
town hall,
building.
okay.
There's some fiber dedicated to us for the camera system on Main
Okay.
Street. And that's not in this contract. But everything else, between these reclosures going back years already, is in here.
Okay.
And it's described at the end of the contract.
A motion?
So move.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Good deal for all. F, Village Justice Resignation. Do you have that?
I do.
I'll do that really quick. Thank you.
Sure.
I'll just read it really quickly. It's from David Corson. Mayor Devlin, please accept this letter as my formal written resignation as Lake Placid Village Justice, effective immediately. It has been a true honor in serving my community in this capacity, as well as several others over the past 31 years. Thank you in advance for your attention on this matter. Thank David for his time in office. And we'll have to see if other candidates step forward to have me appoint them, but in the meantime, with regret, we will make a motion to accept David's resignation.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Art,
Yes.
I don't know if
Yep.
you want to add to that or not, but there has been some conversation since Dean is going to cover his caseload until we appoint somebody new. Should we be paying Dean Dave's salary?
Yes, I guess where I was going with the other is, there's no way anyone can fill in until after they go to the school in April. So we've got that much time to, but yeah, Mindy and I did have that conversation. Since Dean's going to be picking up the full load now instead of being a backup, we'll pay him David's salary in the meantime. So, yeah. Good.
Should that be an official resolution?
Yeah, it's going to have to be.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to have to be.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's money that we had, we're just
Yes.
transferring it to somebody
Right.
else.
Yeah, in other
Okay.
words, his job before was just to be a backup if Dave couldn't make it. Now he's got to take on his entire case.
Not bad to have it down in
Yep.
official writing.
So I got it first.
Second.
You made it first, didn't you? Did you bring a motion up?
I'll make a motion that, that Dean gets the salary that would have gone to Dave.
Of course. You seconded.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. G, ratify Empire State Winter Games request.
Which was what?
Which
The
was.
torch run escort, the shutdown of Parkside Drive with
Stay.
Brad's help, yes, for Thursday evening. Foot patrol at the ceremony and escorting the horse for the torch lighting.
I'll make the motion.
And I think they all went well.
Except there's no horse.
There was.
There
I didn't see
was.
the horse.
It was there.
I saw them in pictures
It
afterwards.
just came over to the outlet. Didn't come down Main Street.
No, he was on the back of a truck,
Was it a
pickup
he or a
truck.
she?
It was her on the horse, but then
Yeah.
whoever carried the torch. It's very, you didn't see?
I'm sorry. Did we get a second?
I think we did, yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Well, here we go again, ratifying library parking pass request.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And last item that's on the list, Rotary Club Teddy Bear Picnic, September 23rd.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Self-explanatory. Anything else?
Yeah.
Any two more items to come?
Actually, I think 3 more items. This was revisiting from the last time, the change orders for the wastewater treatment plant. Right.
We tabled it last week.
We
didn't
did.
get it on
Yeah.
the agenda.
The water treatment plant upgrade project. Okay, so I split those between general construction and electrical construction. So for general construction, there was an increase of $81,223.32. For electrical construction, there was a decrease of $9,201.29. Mindy, do you think we should take those two separately?
I would, yeah.
Okay. So for general construction.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or all in favor?
Aye.
Aye as well.
And then for electrical construction.
And then Janet would say we need to say how it's being paid
Oh.
for.
It's being covered by the short-term financing. There was a bond that was put out for the increases that were coming, which will cover the extra expenses.
That was what your motion was, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then the second half of that was the,
Electrical construction.
and same motion or
Except there's less money, so maybe it doesn't apply.
second?
Second.
And that will come off the financing.
All in favor?
Aye.
As well.
Okay. Next item, the annual request for the Lake Placid Classic to be run, on October 7th, 2023, for the use of village roads and sidewalks and providing police and highway department support.
So moved.
Second.
And these just came in. I mean, these, anytime we don't want to vote because there's not enough time to think about something, you can always push it back.
Yeah.
This is something we've done a lot, but just to let you know, we did just get this today, I believe.
Yeah, if it's something, literally this afternoon. If it's
So
something-
registration is at the beach house, but they're gonna start from the horse show grounds and go up John Brown, which I don't like that.
I don't like that route.
No, I don't.
I guess they did it last year.
Well, they've done it, this is the third year they've,
Second. Will be the
But it was,
third.
and then it was the old route, like way back in the day.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
before going
Only-
up Main
When
Street.
we salvaged it when it was getting ready to discontinue.
Yeah. Well, construction, right?
Bloomingdale.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What?
At the firehouse.
It used to be a marathon.
Really?
I
That's,
ran that.
That's very cool.
That goes way back
That's
to
But
local.
that's a half from Bloomingdale.
It's a half, it's
Yeah.
13 miles from
It goes to
Bloomingdale?
Mackenzie Pond Road.
Oh,
And then,
I thought it was originally a marathon. No?
and well, from Paul Smith, it was a marathon.
Okay. And that goes
I
back
ran
to
that too, I almost killed myself.
Dr. Lopez and
Yeah.
was it Graham Fraser? Were they the two that started it?
Lopez for sure.
Lopez, for sure.
Somebody else, but I can't remember. Okay. Okay.
And one more
Well,
item.
we didn't vote yet,
Oh,
did we?
sorry.
Or did we?
We
You
did, I
had a
know.
first and a second, then you were
And
asking for
I
Yeah.
broke off, yes.
Oh, I
All in
started,
favor?
like, I didn't like that route. I want the route to go back.
Approved.
Okay.
Yes.
And then final item, the taxi background checks came in for the Barneys, who we had extended already at a previous meeting. So we can take them, I guess, separately for Larry Barney to continue his taxi service through 2023.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And for Peyton Barney to continue through 2023.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And they were both.
And we
by the
approved
police department.
Celeste. Didn't we approve
We did. She
Celeste
hasn't come
last?
back to pick up her license, but we did. I gave her a call that she's approved.
You should say if he gets a new minivan.
That's everything?
That is everything.
Okay. And then warrant affidavit number 12. Who did that?
I did.
Yeah, sure. Feels like old time. Do I have a motion to accept the warrant as affidavit number 12?
So moved.
I just had one question. Should you? Mindy, are we almost done with Kabricki? There was one payment on this one.
Yes, that was the retainage. So we did a 5% retainage throughout the contract and we had to pay the 5%.
Okay, so we're done with Kabricki?
There'll probably be one more change order in the spring just for cleanup stuff, but yes, other than that, we're finished.
Did we get a second?
Second.
Any questions further? Seeing as no, all in favor?
Aye.
All in favor?
Oh, aye.
Peter?
Oh,
Just
aye.
say aye.
Can't do two things.
Oh, we're really back to normal soon. Okay, anything else come from Treasury?
Yes, I sent Anita the language that NYPA is requiring so that we need to set a public hearing for the increase in the electrical rates.
Okay. We're
So how can we get that information out to the public, Mindy?
So first we can, There's language that has to go in the paper. I sent her what Tupper Lake did with their most recent rate increase. But I mean, we can publicize what the rates are going to be either via Facebook or on the village website if we want to ahead of time.
I'm sure Lauren
And
can
Lauren,
help us.
in there, so if we want,
People
we can do that.
are going to want to know percentages, which is pretty easy for residential, but not so easy for commercial with demand.
Right. So I mean, I can put it out. I mean, the overall percentage increase is 7.5%, but obviously that is distributed differently amongst the different rate classes. So I can put it out on a percentage basis. I can put it out on a dollar basis. Lauren, I know you're back there, but if you want to sit down at some point and want to do an article on it, I'm more than happy to give you information on it and then go from there. However we need to get it out to the public, I'm more than happy to do so before the public hearing.
And when you say 7%, you mean 7% of our current kilowatt hour, right?
Well, it's a 7% increase, dollar increase overall, but that is a net increase. So, or sorry, a gross increase. The PPAC is going to decrease. So the overall percentage increase is slightly different because we're losing money on the PPA. We're increasing to cover debt and cost of supplies and everything else on the electric side. But it's also important to note we haven't had a rate increase since 2007.
But I think we need to find a way to communicate this to the average person. I mean, we all understand the PPAC. Sometimes I do. I mean, I know we just got electric bills and people are already complaining about the PPAC. I know the PPA, right? What's that? That's going to go down.
Adjustment.
Right.
Yes,
So, I mean, we're going to have to come up with a formula that the average person is going to be able to understand, or else this is just going to.
I think I could probably put it in layman's terms. I did explain it to 2 customers before I left to go out of town because they called about their electric bills, and I explained why things had gone up and why the bills were higher than they have been. But I mean, the 2 previous months we had negative PPACs because we had credits with National Grid. This month we actually had a positive bill with National Grid. So it's really dependent upon that. And it's still relatively low in consideration to what last January was.
Yeah.
No, I
Can
mean-
you need to explain it to Lauren in layman's terms, as you said.
Absolutely. I can do that. I don't have a problem with that at all.
We would all love to understand it better. And the process, Mindy, correct me if I'm mistaken, so it goes to public hearing, and then NYPA needs to approve it, the board?
Well, it goes to public hearing and then we have to pass the rates themselves at the next board meeting. Then it goes to NYPA and then there's a 60-day waiting period where they take in public comment as well. So these rates more than likely won't go into effect until April, May.
It sounds like.
Very good.
Okay.
So I think you and I were talking about doing this prior to the next board meeting, so it'd be on Tuesday, February 21st at 4:45. That works for all of you. I know Art is unable to be here for that meeting, but Peter's going to run it.
I'm out of town. I'm at a trade show.
You're good, Peter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully Katie.
Yeah, so we'll just
Someone better
confirm
talk with
that
her.
Katie's, yeah, I can talk to her tomorrow or even message her
Do you want
tonight.
longer than 15 minutes for this meeting?
I mean, you seem to think it's enough, but whatever you all think.
I think if we can get the information out in advance, because the phone calls will filter in. It won't just be at a public hearing. They'll filter in prior to. I think that 15 minutes would be more than enough during the public hearing, but if anyone wants to go longer, it's totally fine.
Your call.
Yeah, I mean, we could just extend it into after the 5 o'clock
Right.
as well.
We're into the 5 we have.
Better to answer all the questions.
Okay, so 4:45, 21st of February.
Yep, and I'll just
Wait,
confirm with
public
Katie.
hearing, we don't answer questions. They ask,
Right,
they
that's
give
right.
us
They have
a
a
comment.
question to make.
That's right.
So we can't comment on
It's
it.
just a matter of how many people show up.
Right.
but people hate that when you don't answer.
But it's public comment.
Yes,
time.
it's-
I get it.
Not a town hall. We can do that next time. Okay.
Okay.
So we're agreed on that then?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Anything else, Mindy?
Nope, that was it.
Okay. Is there anything to come up under new business?
Um,
That was quick.
Did I ask the question or did you just raise your hand?
It was just a comment that I think we should start working on the parking permit fees
Good, okay.
now. And because we know how tough it is for everybody to get together and we'll probably have some back and forth, so. What do you mean you're not gonna be here? You could start. I mean, you can be on that committee.
What's that?
The parking permit
Sure.
fees. Okay.
And do you want to do that at a workshop or do you?
Yes.
Okay. So next
I
workshop.
can, I'll put it on.
Good, okay. Anything else under new business? Old business? Mayor items? Nothing great since 2 weeks ago. Commissioner reports. Mindy, you can verify, but I'm pretty sure when I talked to Brad, they've restarted the work on the water plant, correct?
Yes, they have.
Very good, thanks.
We have our social LPBA meeting tomorrow night and we're gonna paint. If anyone wants to
Oh, fun.
sip and paint,
Oh,
paint Peaks Paint Bar.
do you have to sign up in advance? Because.
You don't have to sign up in advance. You're a village official, so.
Well, I mean, it can only hold, they've only got so many easels.
Yeah, he said he can have like 40 in there,
Oh, wow, okay.
which I can't imagine, but he said he could, so. If we get 40, that'd be great.
If anybody cares, the pond hockey tournament is now on the oval,
Oh, hockey.
oval hockey,
Is it
yeah,
ice that bad? Huh?
I guess so, unskateable.
Windy, colder weather.
Unclearable,
Oh, unclearable.
yeah. It's all slush.
Oh, okay.
The ice at the toboggan chute doesn't look horrible. I mean, I haven't been out
But they
there.
cleaned it
I
up.
cleaned it up, and it was cold. Somewhat cold.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
It's not ice there, not so much everywhere else.
Anything else under commissioner reports?
So there won't be a tent on the lake either for the Can-Am.
Kind of figured that.
And I assume you have to go to the Oval now Friday morning as opposed to the Golden Arrow.
All right.
Oh, do you open up the pond hockey tournament? Wow, you're gonna,
I don't know now that it's over, maybe it's not.
Oh, I think it still is. I'll confirm with her.
Just let me know.
I'm sure it is.
Any questions from anybody online?
I just wanted to let Mindy know, I'll email you later this week so we can set up a time to talk about the electric rates.
Perfect.
Oh, I was wondering about the village justice position. What's the process for filling that seat now?
I have to appoint somebody.
Okay.
Once I appoint that person, they have to go through taking the bench, I think it's called, to learn how to be a justice.
They have to live in Essex County, correct?
Yes, that's right.
They have to live in.
Not necessarily the village, but live in Essex County.
And
Someone
taking,
to be willing to be appointed first.
taking the bench takes about 5 days. Is it down in Albany?
it's only a 5-day course?
It used to be
Yeah.
3 week. Is it Albany?
Yeah, it's in Albany. Oh, well, it's just south of Albany, but yeah, Mike just took it.
And it used to be a 3 weekend course and now it's just 5 days.
And then in March of 2024, we're going to have to hold a special election where that person will run if they still want to be judge or
Well, we have to open
anybody.
it up to anybody.
That's right, yes, anybody who wants to can run at that time. But it was too late. We got the resignation too late to get it on this March's ballot, or we would have.
We kind of threw that at you very poorly. Did you get all that?
I think so. So what's his term set to end December this year?
That would have, he would have
Not
gone one.
December,
He
they
would-
never ended
2 years,
December.
2
but,
years
It's a 4-year term, right? So
4-year
he would
term,
have had
he
2
has 2 more
years.
years.
Yeah, and our elections are always in March, so it's through our annual meeting, which is the first Monday of April. That's what the terms run.
He's not quite halfway, he didn't make it halfway through his first term.
So we could have a special election at any time.
I don't know, it
Until-
doesn't seem like it. They told me
The appointment
next
is-
March.
It's
NICOM
gotta be
said
in the
next
next-
March. I mean, if we had some reason to,
Because you've got to
maybe
go
we'd
through
push
the
for
the
it, but he
process with
said,
all the dates and.
yeah. NICOM said that was the option.
When is village
To
election?
disband the court, you'd have to wait till March.
Oh, for that, maybe not.
Because there's no elected justice.
Right,
So you could do it at any time, which you don't have to wait till the end of the term.
Pretty soon you won't be, you can also throw that on your
Yeah.
list.
Huh?
Pretty soon you can put that as an activist list to petition us to have that disbanded.
yeah, for that, we'd have to have a public hearing.
Of course.
So, yeah.
I mean, I'm not opposed, what he's bringing up is disbanding the court again, which has been attempted twice. I'm not opposed, but I just made it a commitment after the last two times.
First it was Helshoff, and then it was,
Well, the request is gonna have to come from someone other than the board, in my opinion. But now that you won't be on the board in April, you can make that request.
okay.
All right, and why
But that
would you
was-
want to disband it? I'm just
It's
asking.
well,
That's what Katie was asking too. See, it's a whole new board from the last time we did this, so.
There are a ton of reasons.
So it's
There
another
are?
reason why, just because it's so inefficient. Now, the two judges could hear each other's cases.
They can't now.
If they could.
So
they can't
currently-
now.
They
The-
can because we appoint them as backup judges.
All right, but the village appointment would take care of village cases, the town appointment takes care of the town cases. Currently, they're separate.
Two separate
Okay.
money pots, two separate audits. When one of the clerks goes sick or quits,
Okay,
the other one cannot do the
Okay.
other one's work.
what's the advantage? Is there an
Well,
advantage?
like right now, I believe it's every
Well,
other,
we get a little bit of money.
every other session, the DA comes in. And then that means this next week when there's no DA. And with it being all one, DA basically would be there every session.
No, all right, so what's the advantage to keeping a village court? Is there one?
A little bit of money.
A little bit of money. Do we know how much a little bit of money
Certainly,
is?
Mindy could look it up very easily.
Yeah, I can look it up for you and send it to you. I will say also, from what I've heard from other people when this conversation has come up before, the caseload alone, you run into a similar situation like they do in Essex County Family Court, where you have so many cases you don't have time to look at anything. So there's a lot of cases that go through Lake Placid and the town of North Elba. When you only have one judge with that high of a caseload, they don't have time to actually go through anything and look at it. They're solely reliant on their court clerks.
So we could go to the court clerks and find out what the caseload is for the village and what the caseload is for the town.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, Dean and Rabbi
Friedman.
are the two town justices. They are both full-time? Or is Rabbi
Part-time.
Friedman
They're
the,
both part-time.
They're just justices. There is no full.
They're equal. Just,
They share the
Dean
caseload.
is our representative for the village. If
right, but for the town, right, let's just, Dave Corson's still there. Between the Rabbi and Dean, they share the caseload. One picks one day to show up and the other one picks the next day to show up. That's how they work it among themselves.
To my knowledge.
Okay,
That's how I understand.
we can't tell them what to do. because they're-
right.
They're separate. And
And they handle cases that are in the town.
correct.
They would not handle a parking ticket that was issued in the village would. Okay,
And a long time ago, there was a discussion, what happens to the parking fines?
yep,
That stays with the village either way. Even if there's no village court, parking
Okay.
fines stay and some speeding tickets, but everything else goes to the town.
okay.
It's some weird law about speeding tickets.
Yeah. That's right.
Any speeding ticket?
Like within the village.
Oh, okay,
But other kinds of driving fines do not go to the village.
Putting a stop sign.
I think some town somewhere was making a lot of money on speeding tickets. So they changed the law.
It had a lot of instances. If it does come to us, I've got files. We tried to do it before the pros.
and you've
cons.
done it, you've tried to do it
Well, the
twice?
second
Yes.
time, I don't know if we ever went that far because.
We did, I
Oh,
have
we
the
got
numbers.
defeated, yeah.
Yeah, I sent you the
And it has to
results.
go to vote.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, which,
So it would be something that would have to come up on that election.
because the clerk didn't want to lose her job, so that's why.
That was part
filled
of
the
it, yeah,
second
for sure, that was
position.
part of it.
Although it wasn't that she was going to lose her job, she just wasn't guaranteed the town would hire her.
Okay.
Yeah, they can't leave the town and wouldn't take someone that knows the load and knows the work. But
People can't separate personalities from what's good to the town.
But the town has a clerk.
Yes, mhm.
Yes.
They share an office.
which they didn't do before we started this whole process. They used to be in 2 different rooms. And so at least we now have them together.
Okay. But if we do disband, or would we
If the
eliminate
village-
a position?
Well, the village would no longer have that position.
Hopefully
It isn't really
Or
so much
town.
of trying to eliminate positions or save money. It's really trying to make the court itself more efficient.
Of
So
course you
the-
won't.
So the clerk, we just couldn't guarantee it. At the time, we couldn't get the supervisor and the board to guarantee it, but that would probably be a very good step, to make sure everyone knew their job was secure and that they'd be moving over.
Would the village be asked to supplement any of that?
I don't know exactly how that works, but I think part of what would happen, it's been a long time since we did this, we're all under the tax cap, and in that tax cap, part of that tax, Mindy, you can probably help me, is we have money dedicated to the court.
Okay.
So if we disband the court and it goes over to the town, our tax cap for running the court would be transferred to them.
Okay.
In essence, yes, our taxes would go down, but theirs would go up, but they would be having our tax caps would allow them to go to cover it.
Okay.
Did I fumble through that okay, Mindy?
Well, that too, and the fines and forfeitures, if they take over the court entirely, some of those fines and forfeitures are going to come to the town versus going to the village. And they would then have to pay Essex County their portion of it, but that revenue would generate in the town, not necessarily in the village. That helps to pay for those salaries.
Like I say, if Peter brings us to the board or someone does, there's a lot to this. And I got, like I said, and Dean's a wealth of knowledge on it.
And obviously, it's not just the village saying we don't want it, it's the town saying, okay, we'll take it.
But they have no
We can't
choice.
So the-
They
Oh,
have
really?
no
Oh,
choice.
I didn't
If we
realize
just
that.
ban
Okay.
But there should be communication, obviously.
I would think, yes.
Well, so Mindy, go back. So there's a line item for the clerk and the justice salary, correct?
Yes. Mhm.
What you're saying is that it just doesn't automatically transfer if we disband the court system on the village side. It would come off the tax.
I think I'm right on that, aren't I, Mindy, that we would have our ability to collect taxes diminished by the amount of the court and the town would have theirs expanded to pick up our cost?
No, because as far as the taxing goes, that's all based on property value and everything else, which isn't going to change.
I'm more talking about our 2% tax cap.
I mean, it would adjust it to a certain extent. It's just going to decrease the amount of revenues that we're intaking on our revenue side. So our revenues and our expenditures our revenues are going to decrease, and so are our expenditures, essentially.
We wouldn't pay the town to do that. They would get the extra revenues from the tickets and stuff. And that's how they would pay for it. We would be out of if we disband the court, we're out of the equation entirely.
We're
We would
out of the
go-
equation,
Yeah.
but we don't get the revenue either.
Correct, unless.
Okay.
Right. So if it's a parking ticket, we would still have the fines portion on our as a line item, as well as Essex County. There's a positive and a negative in the revenues for that. Right now, what happens is the clerk cuts us a check and for the amount of fines that we have taken in, and then Essex County or the state sends us a bill and says, this is how much of it you owe to us. So, I mean, we get revenue out of it, which helps to supplement those salaries, but a good chunk of it does come off of our taxes.
So the next step is for us to find a willing candidate. If there is no willing,
Oh, yes.
Right.
No, when you say us, it's my legal responsibility to
Okay.
appoint somebody.
okay.
Yeah.
If nobody steps up or if there isn't a suitable candidate, Dean and the rabbi will take over, and then somebody from the general,
No, you're talking about take over the village court?
Just
Yeah.
Dean.
No,
it's just Dean.
it would be just Dean.
Oh, because he was the
Yeah.
backup for Dave Corson and he said he would do it.
That's why we're paying the money.
Okay, but then somebody from the public would have to initiate, we'd like to
Well, it
consider.
doesn't have to be the board can do it. I
Nope.
just made it a commitment. I'm never doing it again. It's going to have to come from someone else that they want this.
Okay.
It apparently didn't look good that we were trying to disband it, but I'm very happy to entertain it. I still think it's the right thing to do, but I just want someone to.
There's some village lovers who think this is the first step to getting rid of the village.
That's a village lover?
Like,
I'm sorry, I wouldn't call that a village lover. Village
Even
people,
better.
YMCA.
I think there's some people who truly want to keep the village and they think that's the first step in this.
Oh, so they would
Yeah,
fight to
there's some-
keep that,
Some people
okay.
in that frame of mind still.
But, you know, a lot of things have changed. I do think
I think a lot of, the whole circumstances.
we should bring Dean back in. Like I say, he's a wealth of knowledge on this and let him, maybe at one of our workshops, I could bring him in and ask him to, you know, just explain it to us, just so that if it does come or.
It'd be so much more efficient.
Okay, I don't know if you know this off the top of your head, Mindy, but the fines, the levies that we take in from fines, does it cover the cost of the salaries for the court clerk and the judge?
Way.
There's a little bit of money.
There is, wait a minute, no, she's saying no, it doesn't cover.
It doesn't.
No,
But
it
there is-
doesn't.
It does not.
Doesn't cover?
No.
Usually.
Well, but I think it's the question we're being asked, does that money go towards it or does it completely cover it?
I'm asking if it completely
I think
covers
she's
it.
answering no, but people taking it as, does it go there at all?
Okay,
I have no idea. Mindy would know. It used to cover it. I don't know about now.
Like I said, I think that'd be a great thing to bring in Dean and let him explain it to us again. Like I said, it's just been too many years since we
okay.
last entertained this thought. Well, Lauren, what did we stomp all over?
Gee, a whole weekly series now.
Did you forget your question now that we?
No, I'm just thinking about this. I'll just follow up with Grace later. I was wondering if you guys had any further interest in the village trustee seats. Anyone
Interest?
petitioning to run?
We've had 3 people who have expressed interest, but until I actually get petitions, we don't know.
Turned in.
Yeah.
They have until the 15th of February.
Right. No, the 14th.
14th.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, 4 people have expressed interest, but again, until I get petitions.
Have they come and collected the correct?
2 have, yeah. Actually, 3 of them have.
Okay.
The 4th person asked me about how he gets on the ballot as a write-in. I said, you just tell people to write your name in.
Oh.
So,
Did that answer your question?
Yes.
So in a week's time, we'll know.
Mhm.
2 weeks' time. I mean, in a week's
Not even
time, they
that.
might start coming in, but until the
But on the
14th.
14th,
Right.
which isn't that far away.
Yeah, 2 weeks from, or 1 week from
9 days.
tomorrow. Yeah.
We're very indecisive tonight, if you haven't noticed. We don't answer something, you just ask it.
We don't know ourselves.
That's all we've got tonight.
Very good. Okay, there is nothing else to come before the board tonight. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good.